you have been following me for a while or seen some of my other videos, especially the beginning, I've touched on it, but I tried to do more education. I'm going to tell you quickly some of my stories. When I was pregnant and having my son, we didn't know that I would survive nor that he would. He was always in the very low percentage, 0 to the highest was a 3. It was scary. It was horrible. It was traumatic. I was literally constantly in the doctor. I stayed at in the hospital for quite a while. Then he was in NICU. I mean, it was rough, right? In that time, we didn't know that I would survive or he would. Every time I checked into the doctor, multiple times, they said, "Did you sign these papers? Did you look at these end-of-life papers? Did you look at the medical directives? What to do with the body? Have you taken care of these? Who's going to be able to speak on your behalf? Have you done these?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm married, just put it on, my husband can handle whatever. I totally trust him." And then I said, "Let me look at the papers." To make my husband make these decisions in such a horrifying time, to me, would have been cruel. I thought it was about trust and who can do this, who can do that. And I trust him with everything. He's an amazing guy. I love him to death, everything, right? But for me to be willing to say, "Oh, let me see. Oh, so you want to know what to do with my eyeballs or the skin or the donating of the body, or if it will be in a crematorium or donated to science, or what needs to happen to this?" You're going to make I would be, by not looking into this information, by not signing it off, by not taking action, I would be willing to put that on my husband and say, "Sorry about your mourning, and hope you can take care of our son in the best way possible. And I hope you're great at waking up and having breakfast in the morning and things are chipper. Go ahead and decide what to do with the eyeballs and the skin and the body and just, have a good day." It's terrible. It is unfair to those who are mourning. If I were to have passed, I wouldn't want to put one more burden on my husband, ever. It's huge. When someone is mourning a loss, they loved you. They loved you. And for you to not acknowledge that or take steps to take some of that burden off, are you showing love? I don't think so. I'm running into an issue right now in my life. I told you both my parents were ill. It breaks my heart every time. I am trying my best because I am more focused on just trying to live the best life I can, more focused on forgiveness, for love, for silly disputes that I disagree with. They're not important. I love that I give myself the right to love someone, right? Whether they like me, whether they think I should be burning in hell, it doesn't matter. I can still love them. It's a blessing I've given to myself, and I'm very lucky. It doesn't mean that I am free from the wounds. In fact, I think I feel them extremely deeply. I'm very open to being angry, to being sad, to being confused, to being wrong, to being the person that says, "I don't know what I don't know, so I'm not going to be able to say anything." I had to hear a phone call the other day. I didn't have questions simply because it would not have contributed, because I don't know what I don't know, and I have to trust. I'm going to tell you my example. When my mom was doing a lot better, she would come with us at least 6 months of the year, and she was sweet. She's like, "I'm going to go take care of Tara Lee. She's my baby. I'm going to go take care of her." And she was. But also there was extremely, I would say we were taking care of her in a huge sense. She was taking care of me in the fact that I knew she was okay. And we would get, oh my gosh. Okay, so love her to death. She's one of my absolute best friends is my mom. But we were also like sisters. And also I was like her mom and she was like a child. And oh my gosh, it would be like, "God, you're driving me insane." And yet I love you and everything. If anyone has been a caretaker, you get it. You get it. You love this person, but you love him enough to be upset at times. It was a lot of sacrifice. My husband worked to support us all. I don't take that for granted. I'm extremely appreciative of him. We did what we could to take care of my mom. When she would stay with us, we had everything taken care of financially for her. Emotionally is the best we could. We did everything we could to make her also suited at home. Then when she would go home, we would try and take care of that. We tried our very best for years. I got a lot of flack for it. You're doing no one any favors by taking care of mom. That was hurtful. I just let it go. To this day, it rings in my ears of like, ugh. Anywho, we did all these things to take care of her. During this time, I begged her, please take care of your end-of-life decisions. Because I had been confronted with it, and I have to realize, right? I said, please do this, because what you're going to have is 8 children with different ideas, different experiences, different, whatever. We all have busy lives. We're trying to live, We want to live also, and let us enjoy time with you and not agony or agonizing over these decisions or having to make a horrible decision and then conflict arises, right? I asked her, literally years, to a point where it was like incessantly annoying. I've worked in finance, side note, I worked in finance. I saw people with millions and millions and millions of dollars not be able to touch a dime because their spouse had passed away and things were cut off legally, which is totally legal. I had no way I could change the legalities of this. Their spouse could have handled this easily while they were alive, but they chose not to, leaving this person in a bind not to pay monthly bills. Absolute silliness. It can all be avoided if you take care of those that take care of you and love them and take care of these papers. Realize life is real. So is death. Also, because I had seen this happen multiple times, not just one or whatever incident, it's a lot of times people aren't thinking through for their loved ones. So I would say, please write a will. And I got to the point where I said, get me out of it. Don't even put my name if you think this is about money or you think it's anything at all. Take me completely out, but do something so there's never agony and disruption with your kids. You have 8 kids. We're not going to think the same. In fact, daily, we don't think the same. We're not the same people. We're all raised very differently, and I'm very much finding this out now. Wow, we are very different, right? So we even came up with a plan. We said, hey, we will buy your house. We'll give you money monthly. We will guarantee your care in the end. If you sign papers on how to take care of you, on what to do, we will get a lawyer for your sake, not necessarily for ours, making sure you are in the best shape ever. Now, my husband never wants to deal with it. He can't stand dealing with all this. To him, it's like, I don't want to talk money. I don't want to do those things, whatever. I get it, and I love him and appreciate it for it. But I know that it could cause issues. We wanted to do the very best foreseeing this situation. Refusal was there. Constant. Number one, we don't want the house. We have little to no interest in living in Utah. I love Utah, don't get me wrong. I cannot breathe there. The inversion is horrifying. There's many reasons. I wanted to possibly have the house because I wanted my siblings to have a place to stay in case. I'm not interested, by the way, so don't get it that way. What it was is trying to find some reassurance for my mom. She did not sign. She did not think of it. A few times she said, yes, yes. I said, okay. And then when I said, it's just no longer on the table. We have to move on with our lives. We're really not interested. You've said no. And I just hope that you can sign these things. We can't take care of this for you. I had to let go. I had to put up the different boundaries. I had to be done. Fast forward to now. Dementia's kicked in. There's some issues, and I love her dearly. There's agreements, disagreements, previous relationships, and previous definitely not getting along has contributed to this, and it's surreal to me. I can't get into it because I literally do not want to deal with this. What is happening is my mom refused to sign papers. Luckily, God bless, she doesn't know how it's affecting others. It has been killing my heart. I have wanted to melt in the street and just throw up and just splat there. I don't want to die, but I want to like splat, right? I feel sick as a dog. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm completely out of the loop because of some personal items, which are very unfair because I actually loved my mom. I have not been allowed to take care of my mom. We're out of state. It has been rough and horrible torture for me. My mom's begged to come here. Last time I saw her, she'd packed up her stuff so she could come stay with us. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't have you come. It was horrible. Things like this they didn't have to happen. It could have been her taking responsibility. I love my mom. I love her. Life doesn't need to end up like this, but I'm begging you. And the reason why I'm doing anything about this, because I have been hush-hush. I have been melting in agony and sickness on my channel. I have not shared because I literally just, I'm kind of in hell right now, so I'll be honest. I want you to know that it is so important that you may not be the one hurting in the end, but someone who loves you and is conscious of what's going on, you could be killing their soul. If you love your family, take care of this. This is my plea. I have a lot more to share, and I will do so later, but I am begging you to please consider. Your kids most likely don't want your stuff. Something I fully believe in is Swedish death cleaning. I'll tell you about that later. Highly, highly recommended. People don't want your stuff per se. They want your love and they want peace. Please consider highly what it can do. I have a wonderful woman, Marisa Nelson. I'm going to put a link to her website. I was going to gather papers and show everyone, all the things. She has done such an excellent job. And if you're in the state of California, fully recommended, I would go to her for estate planning. Amazing woman, brilliant, great lawyer. And she has all these papers that would be really good for you to reference. I am begging of you, please check them out. I'll talk about Polycythemia Vera and all these other things and absolutely insanity that I'm going through in other videos, other times. I literally just had to plea that you please love your loved ones that are loving you, because in the end, you may not know it, but you're killing your loved ones by not taking charge. Beg you, please, please, and live your life to the fullest while you're alive, and give love to those that love you.